What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and as many of you know, when I'm not YouTubing here, I'm out real estate investing. And last week I actually entered into escrow on 2 new properties, one of which is going to be providing me with cash flow of over $1,000. That's passive income after all expenses. Now, just to let you know, I actually found this property at 50% of its regular value, and it's in one of the most affordable markets in the nation. So there's a very low barrier to entry for people who want to get started in real estate investing, and it's actually in a pretty desirable, good area as well. So don't worry, it's not an unsafe area, but I'm not telling all of this to you just to brag. The reason why I actually am sharing this with you, because I know there's a lot of people here on the channel that have been asking me about real estate investing, passive income, cash flow, and how to change their financial situation for the better. So the purpose of this video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing with you this actual property that I'm going to be purchasing, running through the numbers, evaluating everything, showing you what it is that I look for when I'm trying to find these deals, and also sharing with you this top hottest cash flow market in 2021 right now in the nation, so that way you can start researching it for yourself. So I think you're going to find this video very valuable. I hope it's helpful. I hope you enjoy it. So I'm going to be diving in, sharing all the details with you here in this video. But before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, it'll just take a second. If you like and appreciate this video, take a second to smash the like button, leave a comment, and share it out on social media platforms to anybody that you think might be interested. Those simple gestures, it just takes a second, and it really helps out the channel a lot. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. And also, if this is your first time here and you're not already part of the viewing community, what I like to call the Ram Fam, why don't you join the Ram Fam by smashing that subscribe button and turning on that notification bell, so that way as soon as I upload videos, you can get notified. I'll keep you up to date on real estate investing, stocks, the economy, anything going on right now with money. All right, so first up, I'm going to be revealing to you this incredible cash flow market. So right at the gates, let's jump into the area, and that is going to be none other than Cleveland, Ohio, where the median home price is $85,000. That's it, $85,000, which will land you a mortgage payment, including taxes, insurance, principal, interest, all of that good stuff, of around $500 a month. So if you're a homeowner in Cleveland, Ohio, it's very likely that you're probably paying around that much if you have an $85,000 home. Now, just to share with you specifically where it is that I'm going to be looking in Cleveland, Ohio, because that's a pretty good sized city, it's going to be down to the south. And we're going to be moving down into the Brooklyn and Old Brooklyn area. Now in there's a lot of good homes. You can see it's a low crime area from the map on Realtor. And we're going to be looking at a duplex because mine is going to be over on the western side of Pearl Road. You can see right here. So here's a couple of comps that we can look at. You can see some of the different prices, but the one most closest to mine is currently pending for $140,000. It's the exact same size and model as you're going to be seeing here shortly. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual property now, and you're going to be able to see what this looks like, the condition it's currently in, and we're also going to be taking a look at the numbers here very shortly. All right, so here's the exterior of the house, and you can see it's a pretty good sized duplex. It is a little bit distressed. It's going to need some cleaning, some repairs. You can see some broken parts of the front of the house right there. But overall, it looks like it's in pretty decent condition. I mean, it's not falling over, and you can see it's a pretty good size duplex. It goes far back there, and here's another look coming from the other end of the street. You can see that it's a pretty good sized duplex. The neighborhood looks really great for the most part. It looks clean, looks nice. It's actually a really good area, and that's exactly what you want when you're looking for deals. You want to find the worst house in a good area, and that's going to be able to get you a good value. Here's a look at the interior. This is the lower unit, so it's an upper and a lower duplex, and you can see that for the most part, it's not too bad. I mean, we can really clean up and salvage those floors. We can add some paint on the walls and stuff, but not too bad. Now the kitchen, on the other hand, we're gonna need to redo the entire kitchen. Here's a look at one of the bedrooms. You can see in pretty good shape. I mean, we're gonna be able to take care of that, not too bad. And actually the upstairs unit is in a lot better condition. You'll be able to see the potential that these bedrooms have because the ones upstairs look really good. The bathroom, we're also probably going to need to gut. There's going to be some work we're going to need to do in there, but for the most part, it's not too bad. I've definitely purchased and seen much worse than this. This is pretty good here. I think this is going to be a really good buy. And as I mentioned, we're going to be taking a look at the numbers here in just a second. Now we're in the stairways, and we're going to actually go upstairs and take a look at the upstairs unit, and you're going to see that it's going to be in quite a bit better condition. And these stairs, of course, we're going to have to clean up all that, get that taken care of. But once again, it's mostly for the most part cosmetic. We get up and you can already see the kitchen's in better condition. You can see the flooring is already in better shape here. The walls are doing well. There is a drywall area right there that's going to need to be repaired. It's in pretty good condition. Taking a look into the hallway, you can see here's the first bedroom. So this is potentially what the one downstairs that's orange could look like. So you can see there is potential here. These could look really nice. We just got to get them cleaned up, got to get them updated, got to get them painted and taken care of. And this one here's the kitchen upstairs. You can see in much better condition. Pretty much could just salvage this the way it is. Just make sure that the cabinets are taken care of, everything's operating properly. We could potentially close off that door again to provide more cabinets, or we could just leave it as is. And once again, we've got the bathroom here. This is probably going to require some updating as well. Now you can see outside here from the balcony, you can see the street. You can see that the balcony is going to need a little bit of work. The railing is kind of low and looks a little bit dangerous to me, but we'll be able to get that taken care of in case anybody needs to go out there, get it safe and cleaned up and looking good. You can see we're going to be entering up into, there's actually an upper unit we're going to be taking a look at. And so this potentially could be called a triplex, but I don't know. This upstairs here you're going to see doesn't have a kitchen, but it's got flooring. It actually has a bathroom, and it's got a closet and living space. So I guess this actually could be considered a triplex. But you can see here, so here's the bathroom. It goes into this dark shower. It's a little creepy, but hey, I mean, there's a space there where somebody could live. And going back downstairs now, down through the common area, we're going to head down into the basement so that way you can see what it looks like down there in the basement for this duplex unit. You can see in the common area there's a lot of work that needs to be done. A lot of damage has been done to the drywall, to the windows. It looks like it was kind of beat up a little bit, so we'll have to get that taken care of. And these steps too, these wooden steps, they look a little sketchy, so I have to make sure that that's safe in case anybody needs to go down into the basement. And in the basement you can see there's a little bit of cleaning up that needs to be done. Also, I think both the water heaters and the furnaces, everything down here pretty much needs to be replaced. So those are going to be some of the big ticket items, is getting those taken care of, getting the plumbing throughout the house taken care of, and just making sure everything is up to date and good for the tenants for when they move in. And I did get some quotes already from contractors as to how much it's going to be for this entire duplex and everything in it to get taken care of. So we've already got quotes on everything. I'm going to be sharing with you guys here in just a second. So now we're going to be exiting out the back of the house, and you can see some of the wood is rotted, there's trash, the yard could be taken care of a little bit better, but for the most part that is the duplex. So there's one last look at it. And let's go ahead now, and we're going to dive into the numbers. I'm going to be sharing with you what I bought it for, what it's going to rent for, and all the details. All right, you guys, so now let's go ahead and look at the most important part, and of course, that's going to be the numbers. So I actually ended up purchasing this property, got it in contract for $72,000. And as I mentioned, that's probably about half of what its potential value could be. Now, I've also gotten some quotes from contractors who let me know that in order to get this completely repaired and up to speed and taken care of, to get tenants in and have them in good, safe living conditions, it's probably going to cost around $40,000 to $50,000 in repairs. And taking into consideration that we're also going to have closing costs on purchase of about $3,000. So in all, probably going to be all in cash on this property around $115,000 to $125,000. Now keep in mind that when we first started, I showed you guys a very good comp, almost an exact identical model, and that one was currently pending for $140,000. However, it was not updated. So if we update ours even better, we are hearing that we could get around $150,000, maybe even $160,000. So with that in mind, let's run best and worst case scenarios. Let's start off with the worst case. Let's say that rehab is $50,000. We're in on it $125,000, and it'll sell or appraise for only $140,000. That means that we're going to be adding an additional $15,000 of equity we've added to our net worth. So I know, not super exciting, but hey, it's still coming up a little bit. Now let's run the best case scenario. Let's say that the rehab only runs at $40,000. We're in on it $115,000, and then it does appraise or sell for $160,000. That's an additional $45,000 added to our net worth, or added in equity. And that's great. But as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the purpose of this was not to capture equity. It was cash flow. So let's go ahead and run the cash flow numbers on what this property will yield every single month on those numbers. So in this area, units like this should bring in around $775 to $800 in rent every single month per unit. And since we got two of them, that means that this particular property is going to be bringing in rent of $1,550 to $1,600 per month. Now, taking into consideration the fact also that we're going to be needing to hire a property management company, because I'm not going to be managing these from 2,000 miles away. So they're going to be taking 10% of that rent every single month. So that's going to be deducting $155. Also, taxes for this property, you can look it up on Redfin or Realtor. It's going to be $255 a month, and also insurance is going to be about an additional $100 a month as well. So taking those into consideration, we're going to be left with a cash flow, net operating income coming in every single month of $1,040. Now, I know that doesn't take into consideration vacancies, CapEx, repairs, maintenance, things like that, but just with this small amount right here, we already have over $1,000 of cash flow coming in. Now, take into consideration the fact that maybe you want to use the BRRRR strategy. Now, with the BRRRR strategy, you're going to be leaving a significantly smaller amount of money in the deal, and you're going to be getting a loan. So that's going to be reducing your cash flow. However, if we got a loan on this, let's say 75% of the property value, loan to value, you're still going to have $560 cash flow every single month, because that principal and interest payment is probably only going to be about $480. So you guys, you can see why this is one of the top cash flow markets in the nation. Now, let's run the numbers on this. Let's see what the ROI cash on cash is for these two different strategies, if you hold it cash or if you do a BRRRR method and get a loan on it. Okay, so first let's take a look if you leave all your cash in the deal, and then we'll take a look at if you use the BRRRR method. So first up, let's say you're in on this worst case scenario, $125,000. Well, if that's the case, you're going to be collecting cash flow every single month of $1,040, which equals $12,480 a year, which is almost exactly 10%, almost works out perfectly. So that's going to be a 10% cap rate, and that means that in about 10 years, you're going to get all of your initial investment back. And getting a 10% cash on cash return doesn't take into consideration appreciation over time, depreciation that you get to write off on your taxes. As I mentioned, it also doesn't take into consideration, though, vacancies and CapEx expenses. If you're going to be holding long term, you're definitely going to want to bring those numbers into the equation as well. But as you can see, that's already a pretty good return, especially for buying a property cash. But now let's take a look at the BRRRR method. Let's say you do a cash out refinance, or let's just say you initially buy the property at a discount, but you get a loan on it. Well, let's just say you're in on it $125,000, as we mentioned. You're doing a cash out refinance, and the lender says you're going to have to get a loan to value, or a LTV, of 75%. Of course, it's going to vary across the board depending on your lender, but let's just say they're only willing to give you 75%, and they appraise it at $140,000. So this is worst case scenario. If that's the case, you're going to be able to get a loan of $105,000. So they're going to give you that back of the $125,000 that you put in, which means you're going to be leaving in the deal $20,000. Now, if that's the case, you're going to be adding that note, and it's going to reduce your cash flow down to, as we mentioned, $560 a month, which means that every year you're going to be getting cash flow of $6,720. Now, if that's the case, you're going to get $6,720 every single year, and you only have $20,000 in the deal. That is going to be a 33.6% ROI. In other words, in about 3 years, you'll get all that $20,000 back. So you can see why leveraging and using the BRRRR method in these incredible cash flow markets is such a good strategy that a lot of investors like to use. So that is the property, that's how I evaluated it, and that is one of the hottest cash flow markets right now in the nation. And if you're thinking about getting started, it's really simple. First, I just recommend that you hop onto Redfin or Realtor and just start evaluating properties in different areas in Cleveland and seeing, can this property bring me $500 to $1,000 in cash flow every single month? And yes, they're out there, and there's actually some areas that are even way more affordable than the one that I showed you. So very low barrier to entries for people that are interested in getting started in rentals and collecting cash flow and passive income. And you guys, I'll keep you up to date on this one that I just went into escrow on. I'll let you know the process, how the rehab goes, and how the numbers all work out for me. So I hope that this encourages you to get started. Get on there, start looking at deals, start evaluating, get the process going, because real estate is something that can totally help you out a lot financially. So you guys, if you made it this far and you haven't already and you got value out of this video, don't forget to smash the like button. It helps out the channel. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like to join me for more videos. Consider following me on Instagram at SteveRam3. And you guys, I hope this reaches you well. Take care. God bless. Keep investing. This is Steve.